fight to protect king and country and live by the motto, all for one and one for all. Of course, we're talking about the Musketeers.
In a moment, we'll be meeting the stars of the latest adaptation of a tale that's been loved by audiences worldwide for more than a century.
Action, romance, intrigue and tragedy. The Musketeers has it all. But long before it was a TV show, Les Trois Mousquetaires, as it was originally known, was a novel written back in 1844 by the author Alexandre Dumas. Set in the 17th century, it followed the adventures of four young men, D'Artagnan, Athos, Porthos and Aramis, who joined the King's Musketeers of the Guard and lived by that famous motto, all for one and one for all. Their sword-wielding crusades have been adapted for the screen dozens of times. Most famously for the 1940s Hollywood movie starring Gene Kelly and the 90s Disney's remake starring Kiefer Sutherland. And now the swashbuckling maestros are back with a fresh, leather-clad take on an old classic.
And Howard Charles, Luke Pasqualino, Santiago Cabrera. You have to say it like a swashbuckler, don't you? Who plays Porthos, D'Artagnan and Aramis are here. Did I get that even vaguely right?
Close enough.
Close enough to be forgiven. So what's it like to be a musketeer?
It was great. Lots of fun. I mean, it was very hard work initially, but, you know, it was hard work throughout the whole thing. But obviously, you know, when we first started out, it was a lot, posed a few slightly more difficult at times than others. But it was great fun, I mean, to do it with the boys as well.
Yeah. Just for the people who haven't caught up with you, just describe your character.
Fire.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's
in a word.
Fire.
Is that what you want to say?
Fire, yeah. A human hurricane.
Human hurricane. Yours?
Young D'Artagnan, a Gascon, with a huge appetite for justice.
Yes. And yours?
Aramis, charming but deadly.
Yes. And women feature quite largely in these two your lives, don't they?
Yeah, especially with his character.
Yeah.
I think we all get a bit of a taste of it, but yeah, I think Aramis is someone who loves being around women. There's a lot of respect for women and has a good, you know, enjoys their presence.
Who has the affair with the married woman?
That's me.
Yes, you, isn't it?
Yeah, that's me. Yeah.
You own up to that.
No, it's far too crazy for me.
Well, to do all this, you had to undergo pretty intensive training because there's a lot of fighting, a lot of horse riding, isn't there? Tell us about it. It was sort of boot camp for you, wasn't it?
Yeah, we had a really great boot camp actually. It was a very useful experience, I think, for all of us because we straight away it was blood, sweat and tears. You know, minus the blood, but it's a good way of putting it. You know, it was very tough. And yeah, ego was out the window straight away and we were all equal.
And I'm guessing quite a bonding experience for you all as well, because you didn't know each other before.
No, not
no.
I mean, I think I'd met Howard. I met you very briefly in a costume fitting for like a couple of minutes, and then I had to leave. But it was it kind of like the first time a lot of us had met as well. So kind of like Howard said, just to leave our egos at the door.
And you ridden a horse before, any of you?
Very briefly, yeah.
Yeah, but we got much better on this job for sure because we spent a lot of time with them.
Absolutely.
And it can't be sword fighting. You know, that can't be easy. I mean, I'm tempted to suggest that some of the shots are cheated, but you were telling me in the break that they're not really.
It's all us. It's all us.
It's all us.
It's all us.
It's all us.
Yeah.
Well, that's it.
Yeah.
That takes a lot of work. You wouldn't want to go wrong there.
Yeah, I mean the training, you know, we put a lot of work into that as well, and I think you know, for me especially, the horse riding came a lot easier than the sword fighting did.
We're told a lot of men love this. It's not predominantly men, but it's particularly popular with men.
I could think that a few women might quite like it as well. I don't know what you're thinking at home, but I'm picking up that they might do.
Yeah, they probably pick up on that. But I mean, it does appear there's lots of fighting, lots of drama, lots of action.
Yeah, it's very manly. So I think our, you know, kind of I think it appeals to both sexes really.
There's strong female characters in it as well, so it kind of I think it sort of there's a bit of everything for everyone.
Yeah, I actually had a wonderful moment the other evening. I came out of the tube, and this very tall mixed race guy who looked a little bit like me sort of came up to me, and straight away I was kind of like, what's going on here, you know? And he was like, I love the Musketeers, man. And I was like, oh wow, cool. He was like, yeah, I got that thing on, like, you know, like playback and everything. I was like, thank you very much. You know what I mean? Yeah, that was great. Yeah.
And you stopped making this, didn't you, in October? But you all still look like Musketeers. Well, have you adopted this now?
Second season.
Back.
Yeah, we've just been recommissioned for our second season. So.
Absolutely. Well done, boys.
Back into film again.
It's completely different to anything that's been in the past, yeah?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a modern day look at the classics.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, I think you know, we're trying to, what we try to do, we try to kind of, obviously it's still kind of the stories, you know, the characters are based on the original characters and stuff, but we're kind of not doing the usual fairy tale Musketeers that people are used to.
It's inspired by...
It's inspired by the
characters
novel,
of the book, but a new interpretation.
Well, we wish you well with it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
indeed.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.